That was lovely. Yes, what is up, everybody? This is the J&J Dating Dynamics podcast. Jesus Christ. I am Jay, the guy over there with the hat right side, the guy in the black. That's Justin. And joining us tonight, we got Ronnie. This is Ben Affleck's favorite new podcast. And we are, for the first time ever, broadcasting live to two YouTube channels. We now have our main channel and our Clips channel. But we are live streaming to both of them, and we're also live on the Instagram. If you are on the Instagram, come on over to the YouTube side, as this is episode 26. Justin, Ronnie, how you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good. Not bad, bro. How about you?
I'm good. I'll be doing better when you're not burping. First thing on the podcast.
Hey, that was our guest.
Ronnie.
First second in.
It was supposed to be silent.
Okay.
We got Jay Blaze.
All right. We got Burpee and Smokey and Justin.
And yeah, Justin doesn't really do anything wrong anymore. But Justin, what are we talking about today, buddy?
Today we're going to talk about marriage and is it worth it?
All right. So let's kick it off here. As always, we're going to do a very condensed thing for the first 10 minutes on Instagram. If you guys are on the Instagram, you need to come over to the YouTube channel. But before we get going, if you are on YouTube, do us a favor and hit the like button. If you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. And so let me pose the question to you both. I'm going to pose it before and after the conversation. Right now, is marriage worth it? If so, who's it more worth it for, men or women?
It's definitely more favorable for women. I mean, it's every girl's fantasy, you know. They're kind of indoctrinated into that mindset since they're young with Disney and being a princess and, you know, one day finding their prince and living happily ever after, the whole white picket fence with the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like the Hollywood, at least in the media, has sold that fantasy to little girls since the beginning of time.
But there's no benefit for a man because
zero benefit.
Most likely hypergamy eventually will take over. There's 80% chance that they're going to divorce.
Yeah.
And it's going to benefit the woman. She's either going to be able to collect alimony. If they have children together, they're going to be screwed on alimony and child support.
Let me tell you where I'm at real quick. I agree with you. I think marriage overwhelmingly favors the woman. I don't see an upside for a man, especially if you're doing a common marriage where the government's involved. If you're doing a private marriage, hats off to you. But I actually agree with Jay Blaze when he says here on the chat, women want a wedding, not a marriage.
Damn.
And I 100% agree with that. 100%.
Yeah,
I think women live more for the wedding, to have that party, to be able to show the world that they got that man that they wanted. The marriage, that's secondary. Men, I think, are the other way around.
I think arranged marriages, I used to frown upon it growing up with other cultures and be like, that's crazy, arranged marriage. But as the older I get, it kind of makes more sense to me as an adult. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of aspects that go into it that maybe we didn't see as a kid.
I actually have an interesting chart that I'm going to show later about divorce rates around the world. And it's interesting that you mentioned it. The countries where arranged marriages are predominant, India, Pakistan, Muslim,
Middle East,
divorce rates are a lot lower.
Absolutely
crazy. And I have a lot of Indian friends, and they tend to tell me that stuff actually works.
Yeah, and I think if marriage is worth it, I think you really have to take a look into what it is as an individual that you're looking for to get out of that marriage. Is she going to be there to raise the kids? Is she going to stay home and be a housewife? Is she going to be your partner? It could be worth it. It's a loaded question, I think, really.
I agree. Now, how does hypergamy fit in for you, Justin? Is it is I mean, is it more of a problem before the marriage or after a marriage, or how does it fit in for you?
I feel like hypergamy is just common all around for marriage and in regular boyfriend girlfriend relationships
Right.
because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Even if you're married, if a dude comes along and he's got a bigger boat,
I honestly believe that's like a newer generational thing though, because like I come from a family that's like very deep rooted in marriages. Like my aunts and uncles have been married 30, 40 years. My grandparents married 65 years before they passed. And I truly believe like there wasn't a hypergamy back then. Like, they loved each other for who they were. And of course, arguments and fights ensued. But
Right.
like when you made that commitment and you took those vows, it actually meant something.
Yeah, I feel like
Today
the more
is a different
liberated,
world.
yeah, the more liberated women have become, quote unquote, liberated.
Yeah.
The more hypergamy has become an acceptable concept, and now you have
Mhm.
women who get divorced, they get the quote unquote 7-year itch.
If you think about it though, like back in the day, right? Like people would get married, families integrated at that point. So it wasn't so easy to just get divorced. Like every birthday, every holiday, all those families are together. It's not an easy thing to leave, because you adapt the other person's family as your own as well.
That's the thing. It used to be, and it's that way. I think with what we were just talking about with arranged marriages in say India or the Muslim countries,
Hmm.
where marriage isn't just the union of two people; it's the union of two whole families, and it's seen more as a
Absolutely.
transaction between the two families.
That's why I love the idea of marriage, but in today's society, I don't know if it works. And it's sad. It really is. Like it's something I don't want to believe, almost in a way.
I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't think marriage today, at least for a man, I don't think marriage is worth it. I think the only way you actually get married with the state involved is if you're planning to have children, and
Yeah,
even
ceremonial marriages seem to be like,
yeah, private marriage. Actually, our,
mhm.
our friend Donovan Sharp recently announced he's getting a private marriage to his longtime girlfriend Devin.
nice.
So they're gonna have a private marriage. They're gonna do the wedding thing, and they have an arrangement between them to where they don't need to get the state involved at all.
Yeah.
And I think
There's
that's
no reason.
yeah, there really should be no reason. And I think this is funny. This is probably one of those areas where the more conservative segments of our society, say whatever, let's call them Republicans or conservatives, and the folks, the leftists who want gay marriage and all these things, that's actually a point where I think they can agree is in getting the government out of marriages completely.
Yes, but it does help though. It does benefit in a way too, like when it comes to like taxes and stuff like that.
That's the
There
only
are
benefit.
perks of it. Like,
That's like the only benefit.
Yeah.
For the government, it benefits.
But
Yeah.
that's if it lasts. Like,
I
you know
mean,
what
to
I
be
mean?
honest, I think a government benefits more off of us if we are separated.
Absolutely. There's more
Yeah, if you're
taxes.
single, when you're single, you always end up paying more.
Yeah. But going back to the hypergamy before, I feel like, in the older generation, maybe in some of our parents or grandparents, like they actually worked through a marriage and they were actually committed to each other. Nowadays, they hit a bump in the road and they just want to immediately run away from the problem. And not only that, but playing to the hypergamy thing, like I feel like money is now the modern sense of security. The way we now protect women is
Sure.
not it's not physical, but it's in the sense
Financial
of
security.
it's financial
Hey,
security.
you guys have your lighting on? What's going on over there?
Yeah, no, something
My
just
my TV turned off. Tay, can you turn on this lamp? There's a switch on the back.
it's
There's a
like
switch.
Baskin Robbins out here
We do it
nowadays,
live here,
bro.
ladies and gentlemen. We do it
It's
live.
like 31 flavors over
Going
here.
back to what I was saying, so I feel like it's not only financial security because, bro, we can make $100,000, and that's good money. The
Yeah.
average American dude only makes
It's less than 3,000. I think it's like 28 to 29,000.
the average dude right now makes $60K.
I think it's way less than that.
But regardless of what, like my grandfather, they had 7 kids and he worked like a regular kind of job. I feel like women weren't so focused on how much can you offer me,
That's what
as
I'm saying.
opposed to do you love me and will you take care of me and will you protect
Yeah.
me?
I don't think it's financial security at this point anymore. It's how much can you do for me?
Yeah.
Where are you gonna take me?
How
Where are
many
you gonna
bags
fly
can you
me?
buy me?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think
especially
it's
with younger
not security anymore. I think it's actually literally just become materialistic.
But it kind of goes back to an old episode that you had, as if what ruined the dating game and like social media, like when you have all these women showing out and showing up of
Yeah.
like, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm wearing.
Women are out there playing, keeping up with the Joneses with each
It's
other.
more like the
It's funny
Kardashians.
because men, we're competitive, but holy shit, I didn't realize how competitive women are with each other.
Dude,
And that's what they're doing.
And it's for status.
And they're using men as status.
absolutely.
Just
They
like
use
Ronnie just said.
status. Yeah, absolutely. And I think men, I feel we're more competitive with ourselves. Women are more competitive with each other.
Not only that, though, I think men are more competitive almost in like a masculine way too. Like, who's the toughest,
That's the
lion
thing.
in the jungle.
That's true. But when we compete, we tend to respect our competitor.
Absolutely.
Women try to take each other down.
But now men are becoming more feminized as well
Yeah.
too. Like even the strong men, like you see these celebrities who portray as like tough men, bro. They're wearing purses and like
Dude,
women,
we could go on
women
for
kind of
days. We've
jewelry.
spoke about this.
And it's like my grandfather would be rolling over in his
Yeah,
grave
dude.
if
It's
he
the
saw me.
feminization of man.
Like even just wearing Uggs, like, bro, what are you doing? Like, there's a pride that I feel like I always took when it came to my family as a masculine man. Like I used to look at my dad and he would have like callous hands and they'd be dirty. And to me, I'd be like, this guy busts his ass. Like that's a man. You know what I mean? Like that was intriguing to me. Like that was a status.
I
in
saw
itself.
something today where a dude was talking about his kids being able to appreciate the miracle of their father because the dad can't spend time at home.
Right.
Because he's got to go and support them. If he spent more time at home, he wouldn't have enough money to support them. So, like, you guys got to appreciate the miracle that a man is providing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's been lost in today's society. And
Oh yeah, because now women are providing the same, or if not more than the man. And then if that's the case, then they're more likely to end up in
and
divorce.
not just that, kids are being fed this stuff from the very early ages when they watch television. And we'll actually close out the
Well,
Instagram with this, but they're being fed constantly that the dad or the man in their relationship, he's the dope.
But not only that, though, you have to take a look at like a lot of single women raising these boys, and they're taking their sons to do feminine things. So without that masculine male role model in their life, these women are basically raising their kids halfway gay. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
mean to say it
seriously.
like that, but
No, seriously. And you know it's crazy because I grew up with my mom, and that's definitely the reason. I have a lot of women in my family, and Ronnie was there. Like, but it's funny.
my father was there.
The reason that I didn't come up to be one of these little feminine dudes is because I still grew up in the old school kid on the street kind of thing. We were out till
Yeah.
the sun went down. You know what I mean?
And my dad was like a dad to you in a way.
Me and
like-
Ronnie used to fist fighting. We've gotten into fist fights with each other. We used to bully each other. We used to throw mud at each other. We were real boys. And
But-
you know what? I didn't have my dad there as a kid so much.
Right.
But what I did, I had influence in people like his dad. And I searched out from my uncles and my brother's uncles. And I found that with camaraderie.
When
Yeah,
we were younger,
kids, especially boys, are gonna look for that instinctive.
But kids nowadays, they don't go out into the world.
bro, we would literally
out
go
on their
hang
phones
out.
at home.
We would go hang out on the train tracks. We would build fires, play with knives, build forts. Like, we would do boy stuff, like, like collect pocket knives and stuff like that. He would run away from the house and he would come to my house and my dad would talk to his mom. Hey, he's here with me. Don't worry, I got him. He's good. So he always grew up around my dad. Like we were inseparable. So like,
All right,
you know,
let's reset here for a second though. Let's come off the Instagram, guys. If you're on Instagram,
I think
come on
it died.
the channel. It didn't die. It's there. I'm there.
It's still on.
Yes. We're doing live here, ladies and gentlemen. We're actually going to bring on Jay Blaze here in a little bit,
All right.
in a few minutes, because he does have a few good points on this. But guys, if you're on the Instagram, come on over to the YouTube side. Just put in J&J Dating Podcast, and it'll come right up. Right? And we'll see you guys on Instagram. Stay there on YouTube. And if you are on YouTube, do us a favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, as we continue to grow our humble little podcast here. Okay, so sorry, Ronnie, you were saying about your dad and you guys' childhood. I'm gonna send Jay Blaze the link. Go ahead.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I could go on for days about like growing up under my father. Like, I didn't really grow up with my mom, so I didn't get that motherly love. But my father was so masculine, and it was almost like he was a superhero to me. Like, I remember, like, I wanted to be a blue collar guy because that's who he was, and like to me, that was tough.
But
Like,
you
that
know
was
what's
a man.
crazy? Back then, the higher blue end, like the blue collar jobs, were looked at like superheroes. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
if your dad was a crane operator or like an engineer or like even a truck driver, like dude, damn, that's
tough.
cool.
That's a badass.
You know,
Look,
that's a lumberjack.
the days of coming out of high school and being able to get a blue collar job and actually support a family, those days are long gone. That does not exist.
My
Yeah.
girlfriend will ask me sometimes, like, or she has in the past, like, "Oh, come and get a manicure with me or a pedicure." I'm like, absolutely not. Like, I won't do it. And
No.
it's not like of a homophobic thing. Like, I just don't want to
No.
dabble in any type of feminine ordeals. Like, I
Why
just don't.
And
I appreciate the
that's the
dirt on
problem.
my fingernails.
That's the problem. Men today are too damn nice. They don't know how to say no to a woman.
That's him. I like to take care of my toes.
No.
The hand, the fingernails, a little manicure. I'm not really
stripes.
down with it. I take care of my hands. Don't get me wrong, but like
Okay,
I don't go to a salon.
Let me come around to the question. Now we've established here.
But you do got to take care of yourself as a dude.
Yeah, I do. Look at me.
All three of us believe that marriage is not worth it for a man. Justin, you have said repeatedly on this podcast that you want to get married. So where are you really on this?
I think honestly, if I were to,
A few moments
I
later.
would just want to be legally married for children's sake. That's it.
Well, I mean, are you planning to have children?
I would like to.
Okay, but if you don't, are you gonna get married until like? Okay, would you get married like after she's pregnant, or I mean, you got to look at that, don't you?
I mean, obviously, but I guess we'll see if it gets there. You know
Would
what
you
I mean?
still get married if kids weren't able to be in the picture?
Definitely more spiritually.
Gotcha.
I would definitely. I think I would just do it spiritually. I mean, I would only want to be spiritually married if I'm not going to have children. Then there's no reason.
Did I crash out for a minute there?
Yeah.
Yeah, for a couple seconds.
My bad.
Honestly, I would love to, like, maybe I'm being naive, but like to have that security of a woman that's gonna take care of me and stay by my side forever, no matter what we go through. That's a very comfortable feeling.
If I
like
found a
security
woman that
feeling.
had those traditional values and really I felt that coming from her, I would. But you know what? To be honest, for security purposes, I would have to do a prenup.
Yeah, but prenups get thrown out every single day.
If the government is going to be involved, there's got to be a prenup.
Okay. All right.
I don't think there should be anything wrong with that.
Let's bring.
I think as adults, let's say me and my spouse decide to buy a house together. Shouldn't we be able to figure that out as adults? I know divorces get ugly and people get petty, but like, I'm sorry. At the end of the day, you still got to work shit out. Like, you shouldn't need lawyers to figure what's fair out.
No, look.
As a human being,
if a woman earns it and she actually deserves to get her day in her white wedding dress, you can give that to her, but don't get the government involved. I think that's a lose for a man in many ways.
Like I said, the only benefit would be for tax purposes or for children's benefit.
Not only that, though,
I feel like women are so quick to run away from a relationship that I would want to marry if I'm having children, just to make sure that I get to be a part of their upbringing.
But not only that, though,
another instance would be in later stages of life for, say, survivor benefits or things like that.
Yeah, I mean,
A pitfall that a lot of men have to look at is common law marriages. If common law is a thing in your state, you got to be very, very
Pennsylvania.
wary of that. If you've been living together for a certain amount of time, the state does consider you married.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's
I
bring on
mean,
Jay Blaze here, and then I'll let you go, Ronnie. Let me bring in Jay Blaze just to say hello. What's up, Jay? How you doing, bro?
Hey, what's up?
Pretty good, pretty good.
So you were
Hey,
talking about.
before we let you go, I want Ronnie to finish his point. He had something.
no, what I
Oh,
was
go ahead.
saying is like I'm in a union, so I have really good benefits,
Mhm.
and I'm not gonna act like my woman is a piece of property. Like, obviously, if I'm willing to marry you or even be with you, obviously I care enough for you. I have good benefits. If she doesn't have insurance, I want to be able to make sure you're taken care of. So, for government purposes, you need to be legally married to me in order to share those benefits, like medical, dental, and all that. Like, so for me, like I would want to provide that is what I was
Sure.
basically trying to get at.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Jay Blaze, where are you on this, buddy?
Okay, so I think the best option is to make your own contract and draw it up with lawyers, but don't involve the state. And so, say you make a if she cheats, like say you would take care of like say 20 months of her expenses, but if she cheated, you would only have 3 months.
Yeah,
There's
Donovan.
actually in some countries that it is like that. If one of the spouses cheat, you have to pay that spouse an X amount of money.
Yeah, it depends on the country, but in the Western world, it's usually not like that. In fact, if you're the man and you get cheated on, she's still going to take your house. She's still going to take your kids. You're still going to pay her alimony and child support.
And you're going to be mandatory to therapy and anger management.
Oh, but see, Donovan's actually very good at this. He's actually doing that. He and Devin have an agreement, and he's been very public about this, so I feel comfortable talking about it. They have an agreement where if Donovan decides to up and leave once they're married, he has set money aside for her to be taken care of for a certain amount of time. But he's made it very clear: if she's the one that leaves or she decides to up and cheat or something, she gets nothing. And I think that's totally fair.
Yeah, you got to have a clause of a sort.
I think that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that's how they're doing it. Their wedding will be in Miami. Or something.
Nice.
Because right now, the state, if say you have a stay-at-home wife, dude, because she's not working, you have to pay her even more, and then the state gets a lot of percentage of that. So they're incentivized to take you for everything.
Absolutely.
Okay, close the door.
And those are the men that get zeroed out. Those are the men that end up writing to Rollo Tomasi later, thanking them for saving their life.
Yeah.
And I actually, it was funny, I met one of those men when I went, well, not the guy himself. When I was at the 21 convention like 4 years ago, it was a thing. I was outside having a cigarette with a couple of guys, and we saw an older couple come up to Rollo. And we heard them say, "You saved our son's life." That's not a joke. That actually happens.
Yeah.
That does happen, and I've seen it.
I was talking to some woman about what is the worst situation for a woman?
Getting cheated on public.
Guys, hold on 1 second. I forgot to. Did you close out of your Instagram?
Me, yeah. Why?
Because I'm on here still. I'm by myself. I got Fern, and he's like, "What are you guys talking about? Where are you, guys?" Fern, check out J&J on YouTube. You can check it out on my page, or you can check it out on my boy Joel's page. But we're on YouTube live. J&J Dating Dynamics. Check it out. I'm signing off, but we're on live for the next hour. You could even jump in the conversation if you want.
Send them the link.
I'll send them the link. Later, brother.
All right, good shit. All right, let's keep it going here.
So the worst thing for a woman is to never be married and never have kids.
Oh yeah.
The worst thing for a man is being trapped in a loveless marriage with kids.
Is that either or though? Like either get married or have kids? Like could it be one or the other?
Well, I'm
For
just
a
saying
woman?
the worst thing for a man.
No,
would
but
be
I'm saying for
trapped
a
in a
woman.
loveless marriage.
Because sometimes when a woman has a kid and doesn't get married, that could hinder her as well.
The biggest fear you can put into a woman is to tell her she's going to die alone.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be human, to be honest.
Yeah, of course it's human.
I mean, she won't die alone. She'll definitely have like 5 cats.
Yeah, Yeah, the
And
cats.
then
Will
the
be,
cats will eat her.
The cats will eat.
Dogs
her.
won't.
Jesus Christ.
The
Just to
dogs
give
won't.
everybody a little teaser about next week. Next week, I went ahead and found these. Actually, a friend turned me on to these Facebook groups, and that they're titled "Are We Dating the Same Guy?"
Oh yeah,
And it
I've
was
seen
funny
those.
because they're localized, right? So, are we dating the same guy in Miami, Tampa, blah blah blah? And I found there's two in Miami. One's are we dating the same guy? The other one's are we dating the same girl? It's hilarious because the girls group, the are we dating the same girl, has 400 men that are members. Okay, the are we dating the same guy? The girls group has 25,000.
Damn.
Yeah.
And they
Did,
probably
did you
are.
ever did you ever see the New York story where all these girls were dating the same guy and all of them wanted to put the guy into their rotation, but he had a rotation of like 10 girls, and so they all found out and they posted his name on a billboard and stuff.
Seems a little crazy.
All right,
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
Wow.
we have our first troll here on tonight. Devin's single mom. He's trying to talk shit about Donovan. So we're gonna go ahead and put you on timeout.
Why? What did he say?
What'd he say?
They're just talking nonsense about Donovan, and it's an Anthony Johnson bug. There's the whole story there. I'll have him talk about it later if he wants. But yeah,
I think as men, though, we have to figure out a way to bring it back to some of those old school ways.
Look, I will say, I think we talk a lot about women. We complain about women going, wherever they've ended up. I think they're there because of us. We have failed.
Absolutely, but it's by
and-
a certain type of men, though,
And men
that
are
have
continuing to fail.
It's
Yeah.
the thirst of it, but like I think as average or like blue collar guys, like that focus has changed on like what we could provide. Because honestly, I think a woman would be a lot more happier as a mom,
Yeah,
being
seriously.
married and like having that wholesome life. Like you get intrigued by the glitz and the glamour of social media, and at the end of that rainbow, what's really there?
Look, there's no secret as to why the biggest demographic consumer of antidepressant drugs is women in their late 30s to early 40s.
Have you seen the
But we
stats
also
on?
have the biggest stats for suicide.
Men.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but for attempted suicide is women.
Yeah, but I think the suicide and the depression of women, the suicide for men and the depression of women are totally different.
Yeah, absolutely.
The men is, am I going to be able to make a living? The house crumbling down. Women is more like
The relationships come.
the relationship. I'm not being able to go on trips every week or month. Like, I'm not being able to be provided with the finer things in life.
But see, there's another side to that too. When a woman actually finds a man that she can love and respect, the anxiety also comes in. Like, can I live up to what this man wants?
But are you only loving and respecting him because he is able to provide a very high quality life for you?
That's where a man's value comes from.
yeah.
But that doesn't mean that another man is not able to give you genuine love and security, because when you deal with a high value man, you're going to have to deal with being cheated on, him not having time for you. When you have a blue collar guy, it's a different type of life. It's somebody that's going to be there for you on a regular basis for the most part.
Sure.
I feel like that old school marriage is just gone.
Yeah, I think it's dead.
Like, it's literally just materialistic because, I guarantee you lose your job, and let's say you lose 20 to 30,000 to 40 or 50,000 annually. Let's see what happens then when you have to really bunker down. See what happens when you
Are they
can't.
going to stick by you?
Let's take it back to this. There is no such thing as unconditional love, especially
For a man.
Oh, yeah,
For a man.
Who said that? Was it
Chris
Chris Rock?
I don't know who said it.
Only women
And
Children
dogs and children.
children and dogs.
Children and dogs, and men think they love unconditional. Men want to
So
think that. Men would like to think that if their wife got fat or she lost both legs or whatever, he would stick around and do all that. Men want to believe that.
so men are romantics pretending to be realists, and then women are realists pretending to be romantic.
Interesting.
There was a quote by Gemma Teller on Sons of Anarchy, and she said, "Women need to be wanted, and men need to be loved."
Yep.
I thought that was pretty good.
We need to be respected
I mean, I'm kind of weary of quoting anything from Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
No,
Especially
It was a
a
good
quote
show.
of a woman. I feel like women need to be loved. We need to be respected.
Not just any woman. That's Peggy Bundy you're talking about.
I like it. Al Bundy's my man.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
No, but not for nothing. There's too many men that are fucking things up still out there. There's like we can't blame shit on women only out there, because I think
It's our own
for
doing.
men, like, here's how I have personally taken accountability, and I'll just be upfront with somebody. Like, I'll tell them where I'm at. I'm just dating. Like, we're getting to know each other. Like, if we happen to engage with each other sexually, like, I don't know. I can kind of predetermine where I'm going with things. You know what I mean? If I'm looking for a relationship or if I'm just dating around, and that's how I feel like I've taken accountability, is just being upfront with the person. Like, I've straight up told women, like, listen, this is cool, this is fun, I like how it's going, but I can't see this thing going on long term. I don't want to lead you on, and they'll respect it, and we'll still continue to have fun together.
All right, let me bring up our first. Let me bring up this map here because I think it's pretty interesting. So, blah, blah, blah. Let's share our screen here. More rates by country.
Have you guys seen the stats on the teenage girls?
No.
That 3 out of 5 are experiencing hopelessness and depression.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's not good.
We need to bring back school bullying. I 100% agree with that.
I think we
Yeah.
need to get rid of social media.
I think social
Oh,
media
yeah.
is a problem.
Yeah. Well,
And I knew this was going to be a problem from day one. I've always been reluctant to social media.
Dude, it's because social media that FOMO is a thing. And FOMO,
Yeah.
What is that?
FOMO is
Fear
for
of
missing
missing
out.
Oh,
And because of FOMO, my own family, the girls in my family, I don't want to say exactly who it is because I'm not sure they would like me discussing it, but they've had some serious mental things happen where they've ended up institutionalized. And when I spoke with them, because I can speak with them on a closer level because I'm closer to the age than most of the adults in their life, other adults, I mean. And it's been because of social influences, because they feel like they're missing out on things and they weren't invited to this and that and the parties. And, my friend is now has a new friend over there and they're not inviting me to place. And like, it's young girls, but
It's
this
sad.
is what they're going through.
it's sad.
Yeah.
yeah, the drama it used to
And
be.
it's not real
He said.
in reality. It's not really real.
No.
The drama in schools used to be he said, she said. Now it's people.
But then in school back in our days, you had a problem, you fight about it. Now that cyberbullying, cyberbullying cuts deeper than an actual personal issue that you have with
we're
somebody.
far more sensitive.
Yeah, but things
Yeah,
are so extreme that kids won't even fight anymore. Like, we got beat up and you got a bloody nose and a black eye and that's it, and the fight was over.
Shit, sometimes you make a friend that way.
Yeah. But these kids today, they want to stab each other and shoot each other, and they're teenagers
Because they're
freaking arguing.
internalizing a lot of it and they're not actually coming out with how they're feeling or
All right, let's bring this back to this map real quick. I just wanted to show real quick. You see here the Western world. It's in these green colors here. We're sitting right about 2.53, 3.5, and that's people per thousand. Okay, that's not the divorce rate. That's like 3.5 people out of 1,000 get divorced.
is the lighter the least likely?
I saw the U.S. for the stats for the U.S. from the CDC say that 2.3 people out of 1,000 people end up divorced.
Yeah, it's a 2.3.
But wait,
Yeah.
let me ask you: the darker shades are what?
Darker shades are more people. They get divorced. So here are the top countries. The top countries in terms of people per thousand are
The
Maldives,
Maldives.
Kazakhstan at 4.6, then Russia, a lot of Eastern Europe here, all
Surprised.
Eastern Europe, Eurasia.
But they're more heavily populated, those areas.
Well, not necessarily. We have more people than Russia, though.
Per square mile, we definitely have an
More.
insane amount.
I think less people are getting married in the U.S. now, so
Yeah.
that could.
You know what it
Affects
is, though?
those.
It's like tradition and religion had a very big factor on
Shame.
people staying together. Like,
That's why
Yeah.
countries like Cuba right here, because there is no religion. And yet, in the lowest countries, you see Colombia, Chile, you see Peru, you see Venezuela, you see Arab countries.
you know what it is, though? I really don't. I really think that like most people nowadays, they're very short-sighted. I don't think they see the big picture and things. Like when you make it to those milestones of
Yeah.
marriage, you start to appreciate like, wow, I'm happy I hung in there. And we had some speed bumps along the way, but it was all worth it because look at this family that we created and look at all these
Yeah.
grandchildren and nieces and nephews and and that you step back and you take a look at that. I think that's more valuable than any dollar amount.
There's a lot of people I believe out there that they divorce for the wrong reasons, just being young and dumb, and they regret it.
But
I
they
think
make
a lot of
their decisions like this.
Look, my own parents, my dad
Women-
to this day regrets his decision.
to divorce or to marry, because I think a lot of people get married.
No, my dad regrets
They're divorced.
divorcing my mom.
Right.
And he's been through other marriages. He's been through 2 other marriages. He's had 2 daughters with his 3rd marriage. So I have half little sisters, and he still regrets it because
You really have to put your mind in the future when you're young.
yeah,
You do,
You
but
really do.
that's the thing that young people seldom do. I look at some people, and actually, I hesitate to talk about this on the air, but one of my exes, her now baby daddy, dude's been married 4 times, and he's 32 years old.
That's insane.
How the hell do you get married 4 times by the time
yeah.
you're
That right there is a huge red flag. Like that's like a banner of a red flag.
That's not
Like,
but I feel like that's very predominant.
But that's a green flag for a woman.
It is, but I think that's very predominant in lower income communities. Like they see marriage as this thing that's let's just go get married. And
depending on the society or the culture, though, because you see low income communities that are of other countries. Those are the stats that of people staying together.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you were to look at like say like a Mexico or just like say Mexico for an example, like those low income families, they have stayed together through everything.
Oh, we have areas right up the block. I'm not even joking.
It looks
Right
like
up the
South
block,
America.
we got a town next door. They have a huge like Guatemalan kind of community. And bro, a lot of those people over there are legal. And dude, you see these women are meatballs. They're roly poly.
But they're pumping out 4 or 5 kids.
Yeah, but they got 4 or 5 kids, and they got this little dude that goes to work and
Day
busts his
labor.
ass.
Day labor.
But
Yeah,
they put in the work, and they
the Latin American community, they grow up like that, and they're
And not for nothing, I'd rather sacrifice the looks for a woman who's going to stay by my side than have the looks of a woman to be by my side for a little
oh
bit.
yeah,
Like,
to be honest, I don't even feel safe. Like I love playing around with beautiful women, but like I don't want a
There's no
beautiful,
security in
like
it.
gorgeous girlfriend anymore. I don't.
No,
I
look,
feel like I used to, but I don't because the more
it's not a status
beautiful
symbol
she
for
is,
us. It's a
the
fucking
more
battle
her
symbol.
head's gonna be inflated.
It's not
Absolutely.
a status
Yeah.
symbol. It's a battle
Dating-
symbol.
dating a 9 or a 10, it's an absolute headache.
It's a battle.
I don't care who you are. It's an
Like,
absolute.
can you imagine?
Dude,
40,
you can
50
never
years ago.
give a woman enough attention that she gets from social media.
Right.
Think about that.
So-
You'll never be able to provide that ever. There's
So
women
think
on
about-
Fresh and Fit podcast. Ask them, what do you want? Do you want a steady boyfriend or a husband, or do you want your Instagram? Choose.
They all choose their
They
Instagram.
all choose Instagram.
All right, Jay, go ahead. Jay Blaze.
So think about 40 or 50 years ago, women had to choose from what, 3 or 4 people, and so it was basically strictly
In
to
their
their
town.
city.
Yeah,
To their
the
social circle.
family social.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I compare that to the 90s. You'd have TV movies. So you'd have 3 movies to choose from on TV.
And then
You'd
Can you
always find
imagine
something.
back in the day receiving a letter in the mail from some random guy across the country that wanted to buy your underwear?
but-
You'd be like, what the?
In Abu Dhabi.
As a girl, like, you know what I mean? Like, they'd be like, what?
I have some stories though. Like my grandfather, he was in the Korean War, and he's from West New York, like where we're from, like where we
Same
live
area.
right now. And my grandmother was from California. He was stationed out in California before he left, and that's where he met my grandmother. They got married in like a couple of months of knowing each other, But he was from over here, she was from over there, and so he was outside of her maybe circle of or category of choosing men that she could have chose from, but like she fell in love with him. And I feel like once women, or whether it was women or men, made that commitment, they said, this is what I picked, and this is what I'm going to stick it with, and I'm going to honor that.
You know what's funny? He's just said that, and I never really thought about this.
Hey, guys, sorry. I'll be right back, okay? Go ahead and keep going.
I never really thought about this, but I wonder if men back then, from the hometown situation with the hometown girls, how they might have felt when guys, like military guys, were being drafted and now coming into their cities.
Yeah.
Picking up on their chicks.
Is it comparable to like social media? You know what I mean? Like,
But-
damn, all these military guys are coming in and getting our girls.
But think about the guys. All you had to do was beat out 3 or 4 guys, and then you were the top pick.
Yeah.
Now you have to beat out what, 200 to 300 guys to be one of those top picks. But
And
think about now.
men today though, like if you're working hard and you're putting in 8, 10, 12 hours a day, I don't have the time to be like battling for my woman. Like if I got you, that should be the security enough. Like I shouldn't have to work all day and then come home and then try to compete with somebody on the internet. Like it's insanity.
No, think of Netflix. Women are basically on Netflix. They're having to select a movie from Netflix, and say they have a shitty movie, like they're going, oh, I regret not choosing this movie, and so they have so much choice that it's like blowing their minds.
You take it back to the Blockbuster days when you and your girl would go on a date on like a Friday night, but it would just be like a stay at home. You go to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
You chose that movie, you rented it. That's what you're watching.
Movie night used to mean something.
Yeah.
All right, you are watching the J&J Dating Dynamics podcast. I am Jay. The other Jay, go ahead and wave your hand so people know who you are. There you go. That's the other Jay. We got Ronnie joining us, and we got our boy Jay Blaze joining us. Thank you, boys.
I am not a crook.
He is not a crook. This is episode 26, Marriage. Is it worth it or not?
Hey, do you think because women usually live in the present a lot more than men usually look forward a lot more in terms of finances and stuff. Women are pushing for leadership positions in their relationships, and I think that's why you have women actively thinking, am I going to be happy in this, like, thinking presently.
Right.
Bro, women,
But
as much as they want to deny it, a lot of young women these days are delusional. I was watching Jedediah Bilal the other day.
Oh, that's a great one.
She was watching a panel of women by
Whatever.
Courtney Ryan actually was she was interviewing, and it was a whole panel of young girls, and it was exactly what we were just talking about. Like they have this false narrative where a man's supposed to be at a certain age. They wanted guys to be in like these top positions by the time they're 25 years old. And it's like,
Yeah.
you're there. You gotta think long. When I'm with a woman, like literally, I was just going through this. Right now, I'm in a position where I'm trying to start a new business, and I was just recently, not too long ago with somebody, and in my head, I'm like, I'm trying to build a business, and she's included in that naturally, just because that's in the
Your
road that
partner
I'm
in
heading. I'm
life.
taking the lead. This is where we're going.
Yeah.
And she wanted to fight about everything now. Like, oh my God, you don't appreciate me. I don't feel beautiful today. And it's like, I'm out here busting my ass, like doing everything to make you feel safe as a man and provide a life. And you're worried about small little things. So it goes back to what we're saying. We're looking down the road, like,
Men aren't looking for validation. We're looking for appreciation.
and respect.
You know what ruined this? OnlyFans. Women can make hundreds of thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
and then they don't appreciate what a man does.
No.
But
Like,
I go back to like at the end of the rainbow, like you'll end up by yourself at the end of
Dude,
it. If you're always trying to upgrade and upgrade and upgrade, you're
yeah, end up alone.
An average woman in America, the average salary is $30,000. So why is $100,000 no longer like a milestone?
Because billionaires have become the new millionaires.
And
$1 million
honestly,
isn't cool anymore.
I don't care what your status is financially. Like I have a tattoo on my rib. It says old school. I got it when I was really young. I think I was like 22. And like I knew I had this mentality of like of a different era.
Yeah.
And
But we think this way. It
I'll
has nothing to
never
do with us. It has everything to do with the women.
yeah.
Have you guys seen the female delusion calculator on
But this is the
Yeah.
thing.
You
I
guys
don't want to be with a girl like that is of this like I need a Gucci bag and I need Prada and all these like high end names. If that's what you're into, I don't want it. Like I am looking for old school value, and if you can't provide that to me,
I tell you what,
I'd rather be by myself.
let's do a little exercise.
how many?
Let's find Ronnie's dream woman.
No, let's
Hey,
do me.
how-
I want to do me.
Yeah,
Let's
we
do
need
Ronnie
Justin's dream.
All right, let's do
How
Justin.
many?
All right, Justin, how old is she?
How old is she?
Yeah.
78.
No
I-
one's that wouldn't surprise me.
29.
29 to what? Give me a range.
29. Oh, there's a range. I'd say 27 to 33.
27 to 33. Should we exclude married women?
Yes,
What are we about to get into right now?
absolutely.
Okay, moving on. What race is she?
Any.
Irrelevant.
Any. Wow. Okay. Height. How tall is she?
Shorter than me. Go up to 5'7".
5'7".
That's it.
Wow.
Actually, no. I don't like them too short. 5 feet. 4'11".
4'11". Should we exclude overweight and obese women?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Minimum income.
I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
$0.
There you go. What is this maximum?
That just goes to show you right there.
All right, let's find out how delusional you are, I guess. Probability of finding said woman 5.91%.
Jesus. Really? That's interesting.
Struggling. You know what I think does it? I want to see something real quick. Hang on.
Is it the height?
No, I want to say wait.
Oh yeah, that weight is gonna go.
I want to see what happens now. From 5.91 to
Wow.
Jesus.
Jesus.
that is
15%.
There's plenty of women out there, Just.
Jesus.
Wow.
Two out of 5 red pills.
that is insane. That is-
I mean,
Let me ask you: how many women will spend their early days like getting learning skills of a secretary or an accountant or something to help her man out to build a business?
Bro, I swear to
They
God,
don't.
my grandmother, she used to try to show me how to sew. Like, there was like so many little things that like a housewife did, like arts and crafts, like cleaning certain ways, cooking. It was like, you know,
It was a job.
Yeah, absolutely.
But women don't look at that like women's stuff.
but I
like
swear to
they
God,
look at it like
hold on.
slavery.
I see pictures of my grandmother when she was like a young girl up into her teens. She was a very pretty girl. As she was my grandmother, she looked like, you know, anybody of our era's grandmother looked like a grandmother, but she was the most endearing and sweetest woman. I never had to be like, damn, my grandma was a bad bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
Nobody's ever
who the fuck wants to think of their like, yo, my grandma was a boss bitch.
You know
Like,
what?
No, my
That-
grandmother was the staple of my family.
Yeah,
She took care of everything. That was so detrimental
I just
to
went over
me.
my grandma's house last week. What she does.
That was worth more than anything. You think you want to see your grandmother's Instagram pictures when she was
No.
25
Oh my God, hell
and her ass was hanging out at the beach?
no. Hell no.
Like nobody. That's
Yo, my
It's fucking
grandma, I just
terrible.
went over my grandma's just last weekend and the weekend before that because you know why? You know what she likes to do? She likes having the family together.
Yeah.
And her happiness is making sure that everyone is fed.
bro. There's gonna be a lot of
That
women.
food, it's like,
There's gonna
that's
be a
the
lot
love
of
the
women
family.
in 30 years from now.
what are they
Sit-
gonna do?
standing
Put
around-
a pile of hot pockets?
No, they're gonna be
for
standing
their
standing
families?
around like
If they have them.
they're gonna be standing around talking to their girlfriends like, bitch, I think we fucked up.
dude, no, listen,
My
I think
when
we
my
fucked
grandmother
up.
died,
25, 30 years from now, when the Republican or Democratic presidential campaign is going on, can you imagine the number of sex scandals that are going to be out there because of
Oh my
Instagram?
God. For
I
real.
mean, it's going to be insane. But Ronnie,
Yo.
let's look at your ideal woman.
Hold on, real quick. I had this conversation with my aunt last night. I was over her house, and I was like, women are out there all competing to be these bad bitches. Like, do you know what?
They're
So-
competing with
No,
themselves
but
to be
hold
with
on.
themselves.
They're all trying to reach this status, right?
Right.
Is this wrong? Is not the highest status to be a made woman being taken care
No,
of?
it's not wrong of them to do that. It's
No,
not-
but they look at it like it's wrong. But to me, that's the most boss bitch position you can have. If your
Yeah.
So,
man
Justin-
is providing a life
My
that you can stay
grandfather-
home and take care of the children.
My grandfather was a simp in today's era for his wife. But like my grandfather had this respect, and my grandmother took care of the family. She fed everybody. Like it's a partnership, and that's what people fail to realize. It's a partnership. I'm gonna work my ass off and sacrifice all of my time to making a wage to provide for the family. You're gonna stay home and you're gonna raise the family, and we're all gonna appreciate everything that we've came to collectively.
so
Yeah.
think about this: in The
Right.
Godfather, who was the most important? It was the mother. When he wouldn't kill Fredo until
Nothing happens
the
to
mother
on the
went.
mother's alive. Right. All
Yeah.
right. Ron, how old is your perfect woman?
Mine?
Yeah. Let's do it, Ronnie.
I guess I never really thought about it. I would say like 29
You?
to she could be up into her 40, 42. I don't care.
Okay. Can she be married or have kids?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay. All right. Race.
Doesn't matter.
Height.
No taller than 6 foot.
Let's go with 5'11". Minimum height. Does it matter?
No.
Okay. Should I exclude overweight and obese women?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
He's
Minimum.
gonna have a better chance than I am.
Yeah.
Main income.
Minimum
Doesn't
or maximum.
honestly, I would appreciate an income. So let's say 40,000. Yeah, maybe that's too high, right? For
Hey, even 30.
Do 30 to 40.
yeah, do 30.
30. All right. We can either do minimum or maximum. You can't do both. So we'll do
All right,
minimum.
just yeah.
All right. Let's fuck around and find out. Yeah, that's pretty good.
13.
Yeah, look at that.
13, 13. The devil's number.
Much better than Justin's 5%.
I think I put no
It's very
income,
easy to please.
and I was a little age.
Listen, don't start backpedaling now.
No, you said dream woman.
Hang
You
on.
said dream woman.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, dream woman. But you didn't say what I would actually.
Let me see.
Do it over for him.
Hang on. Let's see what happens if we exclude married women and women with children for Ronnie's. He goes from 13% down to 1.5.
I knew it.
So most of those women you want, Ronnie, they're
Dude,
paying-
but you have to be a realist. In today's society, most women are having kids at an early age,
Yeah.
whether they want to or not. And for you to be in your 30s or 40s to think that you're gonna meet a girl with no kids, bro, it's a unicorn. Like,
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, they're having Chad's kids.
Jay, let's do you, Jay Blaze. Give it to me.
Let's say
I feel like his is
24.
very, very low.
24 to 32.
32. Exclude married and children, women.
Yeah.
Race.
right off that, you're gonna
White,
have a very
Hispanic,
low.
and Asian.
So we'll. Wait. There. Okay.
Wait.
I would say 5 foot
Wait,
to.
what's his race?
5 foot. Oh, 5.
No, 4'10" to I don't know 5'5".
4'10" to 5'5". Overweight and obese. Exclude them.
Yeah.
All right. Minimum income or max.
Let's say minimum 5K, just enough so she has some spending cash.
All right.
So you can get your nails and hair did.
Yeah,
3.14. Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad. I feel like if you're in the ones, that's pretty bad. But hey, that's lower than Justin's 5%.
Come on, I want to try it again. Plug me in again.
All right, what is it, Justin?
Let's see, 21 to 41.
Jesus, that's a big range.
I
Okay.
know.
Exclude these
I think
Exclude
the obesity
married.
thing.
Exclude married.
and exclude mothers.
And leave mothers in there.
Okay. Race.
Any.
You just don't want to be called a racist. Go ahead.
I'm not. I don't
Go ahead.
tasted all the flavors.
Okay.
I'd say all right, 4'10" to 5'7".
Okay. Do we exclude overweight women and obese women?
Yeah, I have to.
Okay. Minimum income.
Yeah, 5K.
Fuck around and find out.
I think the obesity thing ruins a lot of
9.
it.
Still
Yeah.
low. Wow.
Well, that's the thing. Most women,
Justin's a very picky person.
women are overweight. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
they're being pushed by body positivity.
Honestly, I wish you could put morals into that category.
Oh, I mean too. All right, let's do me. I'll go 21 to 36. We'll exclude both of these.
You wouldn't date a girl over 40?
I wouldn't date a girl older than me.
And you okay.
We'll go 4'7" to 5'7" works.
I
And
think the
then-
age might have a big factor in it as well.
Yeah, maybe. All right, mine's gonna be pretty bad. Okay, it's not that bad.
So it looks like I have the highest percentage.
Yep, Ronnie's more likely to find his
I don't know if I win or lose on that one.
But yeah, this whole mentality of like, these masculine women out there, like that's what we are not looking for.
no. See,
We
that's
want feminine women.
I agree.
That's what we want.
We don't
We
care.
want women so a family can come together. Like when my grandmother died, we haven't gotten together as an extended family since she died.
Yeah, me
You know
either.
how
The
important
same thing.
cooking is? Not even
Yeah.
for me. I don't even care because to be honest, bro, I'm like a modern bachelor. Like I eat out all the time. I'm not gonna lie, but I can cook for myself too. But I want to know that whoever I end up with is gonna be able to cook and take care of my child and
Right.
not feed him McDonald's.
You know what's crazy though? Like I always go back to my grandfather and my grandmother. They were like such a prominent role in my life. My grandfather was like, he was a very loving person, but at the same time, he was a very scary person. He was very like aggressive. My grandmother was the whole opposite. She was so soft spoken, so welcoming, so
Yeah, a woman
accepting.
is
But
supposed to be
it
nurturing.
worked so well. Like I mean, I have 7 aunts and uncles. I have countless amounts of cousins. My holidays would be, we have to rent out a firehouse just to, or like a hall just to get together. And I would stand back and I would look at my grandparents and I would see all of the family interacting. And I'd be like, this is
They
the
all
most amazing thing.
Yeah, they all came from those two.
Like
Uh,
it literally was like the most amazing thing. It's insane.
Rob Notions, I hope I said that right. Podcast on the chat says yes, marriage is worth it. He also says age does matter if you're looking to have a family. That's
You know what sucks? Like I've seen like elder family members, like distant elder family members that decided to not have children. And like I feel bad for them because they literally die alone.
Yeah,
Like
no.
Like,
Well, I don't mean to interrupt, but my dad's oldest sibling, he's the firstborn. He was the only one out of my aunts and uncles that didn't have kids.
Yeah.
And he's passed away now, but I was there when he passed away. And it was sad. Like, bro, thank God. I'm not even trying to toot my own horn, but like, thank God I was there. Like, I was a nephew that
thank God
appreciated
he
him or
had
loved
distant
him.
family.
Yeah, like, bro, but it was like he didn't have no wife to be there. He had
Yeah.
nobody. Like that, dude. That's so fucking
let me-
sad.
I agree. Let me bring something up here and then we'll do final thoughts because I think this chat from Rakash's podcast says a lot. Age matters if you're looking to have a family. I cannot tell you the amount of women, and this is a lie that's been sold to
But
women.
wait, hold on, Joel. How old were you when you had your daughter?
I was 26.
Okay.
Yeah, 26. But this is a lie that's been sold to women that you can easily have children into your late 30s and 40s. I cannot
No.
tell you the amount of women that are on dating apps, online dating, that are in their late 30s that say hope to have children someday.
you know who ruins this?
That is the biggest
Hillary
lie
Swank.
you can have. Say again?
Hillary Swank having kids at 48. That is ruining it.
Yeah,
But
like,
that's something
women
of
see
new
that.
though. That just happened. Did
Yeah,
it not?
But women see that.
women
She's
see
probably
that.
spent 300K.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you're a
it's-
multimillionaire,
Yeah, she spent God knows how much money on that pregnancy. Anyway,
you have to worry about giving birth to a child with severe problems.
Yeah.
Down syndrome.
and birth defects, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
All right, let's do
absolutely.
final thoughts here because we are up over an hour. Let's start with Jay Blaze. What you got, buddy? Final thoughts.
I will say, back in the day, women used to have a wonderful, woman dar where they could see a winner before he even became a winner. And so she would help him build, and then he'd say, "Well, she's been with me until since the beginning, so he's not going to leave her. And if she spends her 20s, her prime years with that guy, he's going to say, I'm going to take care of you the rest of the." But women are using their prime years to get chads and just loads of
Get the bag.
and get
To
ran
get the
through.
bag.
ran
They're
through.
looking for the bag,
So
really.
what incentive do men have to say, "Oh, you're coming at me at 33 or 34? Yeah, let me take care of you the rest of your life." Like, it makes no sense.
Yo,
You
I
know
got
what
a
it is,
text
though? Hold
message
on,
just
though.
recently. Hold on. I got a text message from a girl telling me, hey, if we don't have a partner in 2 years, can we have kids? Another reason why I don't want to go for the women past 30 is because I don't want to be your option when you have nothing else to, like, now you're
Yeah.
panicking.
Oh.
Like, I don't want to be your option.
But not only that, I honestly, I feel like when men make a commitment, like, I'll love and honor you for the rest of our days, we mean that more than a woman does. Like, so a woman can't
They
genuinely
say that, but as long as you have money, I will love and honor you.
A man will be able, to watch his wife gain weight and still love her and stick beside her. A woman, I don't think is going to be able to, not with the weight issue, but like financial issue.
Yeah.
She-
Say
So-
your wallet.
You
Say
lose
your
your
wallet
job.
loses weight. What happens then?
All right.
So
Justin,
there was a psych hacks video where he said women are loyal to their feelings, men are loyal to their duty.
Yes,
So
I
men
agree with
will
that. I agree with that.
there we go.
ride.
All right, Ronnie, let me get your final thoughts, buddy.
My final thoughts are everything's different for everybody. You know, if you have a love that you believe is true, I say you run with it and you marry that girl. But you know, stick to your brain for a man, and let the women stick to their heart because
When you say go ahead and marry that girl, do you get the state involved?
yeah, I would personally because if I really love a woman and I'm the like I'm the one who has the income, more than likely I'm going to be able to want to provide the benefits of insurance. I need to provide that for my woman. Like if I love a woman, she needs to be on my benefits, and the only way that's going to happen is through government. Like to me, love is blind. To me, or at least I like to believe that. So I will make the wrong decision, you know. But
At least you're a realist about that.
yeah,
All right, Justin, buddy, what you got?
I say marrying a modern woman, absolutely not worth it for a man. For me personally, I'm just talking about, generalizing. For me personally, I will marry a woman that is of traditional values and that acts in that traditional sense, and I want to build a family with. And if I know that she's on that same page and what I believe marriage is in, and if that it's worth fighting for and going through ups and downs, if we're on the same page, yeah. But I'm not dealing with no modern woman like, oh, you don't make that money. Oh, we didn't get a boat by this time. Oh, I want this bag. Like, no, I'm not dealing with that. Nope.
then you buy her a rowboat and you push her out to sea.
Absolutely. Viking funeral. Viking funeral.
All
What
right,
about
guys.
you, Joel?
My final thought, I will say, I don't believe marriage is worth it for a man, not in this modern world. I think 80% of divorces are initiated by women for a reason. Men get zeroed out way too often.
And
Can I cut you
90%
off
if they're
real quick,
college
though?
educated.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
Since you were married once before?
Yeah.
If we were to ask a young Joel,
Right.
would his answer be different? Like,
100% it would be.
You learn from experience.
Yeah, of course it would be. Man.
so do you think that you got married like blindly or like with the hopes of something else?
I did. With the benefit of hindsight, I can confidently.
You're the only one here who's been married.
I
so.
think it goes with Jay Blaze, what he said. Men think of the future.
I think I was at the
Yeah,
time.
women
I
are
was,
present.
I was more in love with the idea of being married than when I
Yeah.
met her.
But when the divorce came, were you disappointed or like
I was. So we reached the point where I had honestly already thought about divorce, but she had already moved away, and the plan at the time was for me to finish school here. I was going to graduate in one more semester, and then go back out there to Texas. The way it ended up happening, once I graduated, she, my idea was to go out there and give it one more try.
okay?
I was already on the precipice myself, but she preempted it and said, "Hey, just stay out there. Let's just get divorced."
You can't be a sucker either and be like constantly begging for like a woman to stay. Because then they're never gonna respect you. And then at that point it's all down the drain anyway.
100%.
Just like I said, women are loyal to their feelings.
Yeah, I wasn't that heartbroken about it at the time because it was already on the decline.
And you're still super young at that point too. So you're like, in the back of your mind, I still have my youth.
Yeah. And that was the thing. I found myself at a place where I almost wanted to be broken up about it, but I wasn't.
It's like a band-aid. You gotta like just
Yeah, it took me maybe a couple months. I was back out there pretty quickly. But all right, so we are at an hour and 9 minutes. Guys, if you're watching, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. This is the J&J Dating Dynamics podcast. We are on live every Sunday at 8 p.m. That's going to do it for episode 26. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, Jay Blaze. And
real quick. I think a woman's perspective would have been idealistic
I
on
agree.
this episode.
We will be getting more ladies up on.
I think you could revisit this topic at a further.
A lot of topics we're going to revisit.
Yeah.
I think Sarita's out of town, and there's a few others that are slated to come on.
You could have gotten a call or somebody.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Bracket.
Signing off.
Later.
Be safe.